What's up everyone, OJ here, welcome back to another video, and today I'm excited to talk about two games that definitely are looking like must-buys from a third-party standpoint on the Nintendo Switch. And the first one is God Eater 3 from Bandai Namco, and the second one is Dragon Quest Builders 2 from Square Enix and Nintendo, who's picking up publishing duties here in the West. So let's first talk about God Eater 3. There is a demo on the eShop that you can go and download right now at this point. This is a action RPG. Think of it as like a faster paced Monster Hunter. That's exactly what this game kind of is like. Has the aesthetics of a Code Vein anime, slick art style, and I really love what they're doing with this game. Now in this demo that you can download on the eShop, you can go through the basic field training. I think there's about 4 of them, and then they have about 3 standard story missions that are built into there. There's also local multiplayer in the demo, but there isn't online multiplayer in the demo. However, the final release will have up to 8 players online. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about what God Eater is about. So essentially, you're pretty much a prisoner slaving away and doing the work for some type of government organization that's having you kill these huge monsters out there and collect resources to bring back. Now, when you do bring back those resources, you can use those to equip and upgrade and do all sorts of cool stuff with your different God Arc weapons, and it's actually really cool. Now, the thing that I love the most about this game is the variety and the pace of combat. There is so many different weapons that you can use. In the demo, when I played it on stream the other day, there was literally such a variety of weapons. I was overwhelmed that they gave us this much in the demo. You have a scythe, you have short swords, you have a huge buster sword, you have dual-edged blades, you have a hammer, you have just so much different stuff that you can do. But your weapon is unique because not only is it a weapon that you can hit enemies with, but it also turns into a gun, and a variety of different guns, from shotguns to sniper rifles to regular rifles. There's all sorts of stuff that it can go into, and once you start playing the game, once you start activating your skills, once you start really seeing the depth of the game and kind of what you can do within missions, it actually becomes really fun. And I can see this game being a really fun game that you play with your friends, especially if you're able to get 8 people to play. I think the greatest thing with this game is if you can get 8 people, which is obviously this is difficult, but if you can get 8 people all with their own Nintendo Switch playing locally, like a LAN party type of situation, or at school, or just whatever the case is, that would be like the type of fun that I used to have back in the LAN parties on Halo. Now that's obviously going to be hard to do, but you can still get together 3 people or 2 people or 4 people and still play locally and have a ton of fun. So I'm hoping one of these times that I can get to go to like a convention, I can do so, because I think that's one of the features that's in this version of the game that isn't in other versions of the game. That is a big, great feature. The local multiplayer is exclusive to the Switch version of the game, and I absolutely love that they added that in there. Now let's talk a little bit more about the gameplay and how things are. Now in my demo time, I think my favorite weapon was definitely the scythe, and the reason why my scythe was my favorite weapon was because of the air combos that you can do with it. You can do different types of combos when you're on the ground or whether you're in the air, and the scythe had this like spinning double or triple blade that you can do on top of a lot of really cool ground attacks as well. So that was probably my favorite weapon in terms of regular melee weapon. When it comes to the guns, I think the laser, that was really cool because it's like a shooting like Ghostbusters laser shot that just keeps on going, and it's just awesome to use. I really do love that about the laser cannon in the game. So that was great. Customizing your guns was also awesome as well. I was able to put different types of bullets on there. You can use like heat and ice and electricity. Of course, they're going to be effective against certain types of enemies and not effective against other types of enemies. And I think that when you have the craziness, because the first couple missions is just 2 people, you and an AI, but then the last few missions, they actually have 4 people on there, and it's great to see all of you guys just bam, just beating away on this enemy like a fast-paced Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter's always been like the king at this point of those, like, gather your friends together and fight some type of monster with weapons, and sometimes use makeshift weapons like guns to fight monsters. monsters, and that's always been pretty much the premier one out there. But God Eater's been slowly kind of rising up in Japan in terms of popularity, nowhere near Monster Hunter, but still rising up. And now God Eater 3 is out. However, it wasn't on a portable platform, which is where God Eater kind of made its name, was on like the PS Vita, PSP, whatever the case is. I think it was PSP first, or PS Vita. Either way, portable systems, Sony portable systems. And then God Eater 3 didn't come out on a portable system at all. It came out on the PS4 and PC, which caused some things to be a little bit rough for them when it comes to the launch and sales of everything. But now they decided, hey, we're not even going to wait. We're not even going to ask for them to beg for the game or anything. We're just going to get it ported over. The PlayStation 4 version of the game in the US, or in the West more like, it came out, I think, back in like February or so. So we're getting it in July, so not too bad. It was announced in April, so I'm actually really happy about this when it comes to Bandai Namco porting this game over. I think the action is fantastic. I think the gameplay is fun and solid. It looks like it runs okay for the most part. Looks like it's a solid 30 frames per second. Not too many dips from what I can tell in the gameplay demo. And of course, that's not the final build of the game just yet, but still looking pretty good when it comes down to it. I got a chance to play a little bit in portable mode, and of course, it looks a little bit better because it's not getting stretched out, because I don't know what the resolution is. It might be 720p or dynamic or whatever. I'm not really sure, but portable mode, it looks like it runs fine, and I had fun playing it in portable mode too, because you can play the demo over and over. You can actually even grind and power level a little bit too, but your progress won't transfer over to the main game. So God Eater 3 for me is looking like a must-have, especially if you're looking for a Monster Hunter style of experience on the Nintendo Switch that isn't necessarily Monster Hunter. So we're gonna move on to the next game here, and that is Dragon Quest Builders 2. And what can I say about Dragon Quest Builders 2? This is the ultimate game for somebody who doesn't like Minecraft, the aesthetics or what Minecraft is, but wants to play a Minecraft style game. This is exactly what that is. Dragon Quest Builders 1 came out on the Nintendo Switch, I think back in 2018, early 2018, and it was phenomenal. I had a ton of fun playing that game. I streamed it with the old channel setup and everything, and I had so much fun. And I'm not even really sure the reason why I stopped playing it. I think just other games came out and I just moved on to other stuff. But Dragon Quest Builders 2 is taking everything the first game did with a lot of the stuff and just kind of blowing it up. I love the deserted island type of thing. I love the water, the beach, deserted island, the whole Malroth that can tag along with you and kind of fight. They have online multiplayer in there. They're going to have local multiplayer as well. It is just a finely crafted game that's highly addictive. It's highly addictive, and if you're into a game like Animal Crossing, for example, or if you're into even Minecraft, whatever the case is, this is the game that you kind of want to play, because this, to me, as an RPG fan, this is kind of what I would like, right? Because Animal Crossing doesn't necessarily have those RPG elements. It's still going to be a great game. Obviously, I'm going to buy it. And then also Minecraft has some, but not really, but the aesthetics really turn me off. And this game kind of takes the aesthetics of maybe what you would see of an Animal Crossing, the gameplay obviously inspired by Minecraft, and says, okay, let's throw an RPG mix in there with Dragon Quest. So it's my perfect style of like time waster or, you know, building type of game out there. So that's what I love the most about Dragon Quest Builders 2. The game is very well written. You start off on this ship and you're basically the sworn enemies of the builders. You're all these Dragon Quest enemies and you're the sworn enemies of them, but they have you doing a bunch of odd jobs around the ship and they find that you're useful, but they keep on threatening to kill you pretty much every single time. So it was hilarious to read the writing and kind of get the tools that you needed to become a builder, because you're not a master builder, you're just an apprentice at this point. But then the boat goes like, oh man, you get jacked up by like the storm or something like that. So all of that gets washed up in a shore and you end up being on this deserted island where you meet up with Malroth and everything and start doing different tasks. Start just basically collecting seaweed. You gotta eat, so that's what you gotta do to eat, to keep your stomach full so you can work efficiently. You start building a house, you start punching stuff, you start building sticks, which you build actually on the ship part of it. You start building a bonfire, cooking food. You're learning all of the essential basics to survive in this game, and then they're gonna let you loose. And it still has a story in there. It still has those exploration elements. I love how they kind of scaled down the scope of it at the beginning, but of course the island's gonna get bigger and bigger in terms of what you can do, but it's scaled down just a little bit from the beginning of what you do, because you are on an island that seems apparently smaller than what you had in the first game, but I'm guessing that there's probably going to be a lot more to it. But I just love that aesthetic. I think that to me is a better aesthetic in terms of like being like washed up ashore and then having to kind of start from there beachside. That's so much better in terms of just like the style that I want to see with this type of game. So I'm really happy they went with that area, and the controls were smooth. Controls were absolutely silky smooth. I played the game in portable mode too. Looks great in portable mode, performs great as well. I think maybe there was like a hitch or two when I was playing on the docked TV screen and everything. Maybe there was like a hitch or two, but it didn't seem like it was a major thing, and it did play smooth. And I just love like just the feel of the game. It feels like they really put a lot of tender love and care into crafting this spin-off from the regular Dragon Quest games. We have Dragon Quest XI Definitive Edition coming out later in the year. That's the big real Dragon Quest game, but this game is still really good, and you're probably gonna find a lot of people that like this style of game over the regular Dragon Quest style of game because of how chill this one kind of is. But it has all of those elements. It has like those multitasking elements. It has the combat in the game. It has the leveling. It kind of has all of those elements that you want to see from various different stuff. RPG, Minecraft, from Animal Crossing, and they kind of all put it together so expertly crafted that it makes me say like this is the type of game that I want to play, the time waster that I want to play more so than any other game, you know? So this is great. This is great to see two third-party games this quality on the Switch in the summer, coming out pretty much around the same time of each other. Now, I will have more information for you guys, links, obviously, if you want to do the pre-ordering and all of that stuff, links in the description below over to Nintendo's site. Definitely don't sleep on God Eater 3 or Dragon Quest Builders 2 on the Nintendo Switch. And I think that there's going to be some exclusive content for the Switch version since Nintendo's picking up the publishing here in the West. So yeah, there'll be that as well. So I'm really happy with what they've done here, and it's great to see these good third-party games coming out during the summer on the Nintendo Switch when people have more time than usual to play games. And especially with the Switch, play it anywhere that you want. These games are perfect for that in terms of grinding and the type of atmosphere and type of game that Dragon Quest Builders 2, perfect for portable play. So what do you guys think about my previews of God Eater 3 and Dragon Quest Builders 2? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Go and check out the links in the description below. We got Facebook and Twitter. Go and give us a like and a follow on our social media. Hit that like button if you did like this video. Let's me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future, and subscribe to PlayerEssence for this RPG, Japanese, and Nintendo gaming news. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you guys for the next one. Peace.